words are not equally weighted. Words are not equally weighted. Nobody's going to write down what I'm about to say next because we all know this, but for some reason we forget it. Negative words weigh way more than positive words. Now, depending on the study you look at, and all kinds of studies have been done on this, the experts tell us that you need 5 to 9 positives to counterbalance 1 negative. But most of these surveys were done in marketplace relationships. My theory, I have no science to back this up. My theory is in marriage, with your kids, with your parents, with your brother, your sister, your best friend, it's not 9 to 5, it's probably 25 or 30 to 1 positives to counterbalance 1 negative, right? I mean, think of it this way. Growing up, you don't remember much of anything you don't remember much of anything you said to your parents. But there are some things your parents said to you that you will never forget, and the ones that you'll never forget are mostly negative things, right? I mean, the conversation that began with, "Son, never forget." That's the only part of what they said that you remember. "Son, never forget." And you don't remember anything that followed, right? But the negatives, the critical, the cynical, the comparison, those arrows stuck. They were barbed. They created wounds that maybe followed you for the rest of your life. Every time you look in the mirror, you see that thing your mom or dad said about you or your sister said about you. Nobody else notices this, but it's all you can notice because they just said it so many times. Because words aren't equally weighted, but words weigh a lot. When I was 16, I wanted to look like Peter Frampton. And when I was 16, I actually had the hair to pull this off. But it meant not cutting it off, right? And my mom loved it. In fact, to her dying day, I mean, she died a few years ago, and she would say, and she would look at me and she would put her fingers in my hair, and she'd go, "Where are all those curls? Where are all those curls?" I'm like, "They're Mom. You need to grow your hair." I'm like, "I don't think so." But anyway, so she loved it. She loved it. And, here's a picture. So here I am. Yeah. Now, I know what you're saying, so I'm going to say it for you. You don't know who Peter Frampton is, but you know who Napoleon Dynamite is. And when I watched Napoleon Dynamite with my kids all those years ago, I thought, I don't know what you're laughing about. That's like my life story. Even the handle, the bicycle thing with the ramp, let's don't go there. Anyway, it was just so my life. So anyway, my mom, she just thought it was so pretty. We can move on. It's so pretty. But my dad, he did not like it. He would tell me, he said, "It makes you look like a girl." You're laughing at that? I thought I would get like a sympathy moan, okay? Wow, tough crowd. I know some of you watching online, you were like, "Oh, that's terrible. Your dad would say this." So let me tell you about an incident. You all have these. I'm just sharing mine, okay? And don't share this outside the room. So I'm standing in the little foyer of our little house in Tucker. I was 16 years old. And I'd just gotten back from getting a haircut where I got it cut short-ish, And my dad walks up to me. I mean, I remember where I was standing. He said, and I quote, "Now you look like my son." Don't laugh at that. That is not the laugh line. I know, now you look to me, now you look like my son. And I still remember what I thought in that moment. I thought, whose son did I look like an hour ago? And how did I respond to those words that today I still remember them? I followed in my father's footsteps and worked for him for 12 years. Because those weren't the only words he said. But I will never forget those. Because negatives weigh more than positives. You know that because you carry some of those wounds. But the point is, your words have the same potential to wound. And you're just talking. For you, all my words weigh 4 pounds. All my words weigh 4 pounds. And then some of your words weigh 104 pounds. And you don't even know. You just keep going. We just keep going. And this isn't so important with people out there in the outer world. But the people who are in our inner circle, it's huge. And we are responsible for the damage we do with our words, and we are responsible for the stewardship we have with our words when it comes to impacting the people around us in such a way that they walk away feeling like, I was at a construction site and I'm built up and I'm better. And he is so dialed into my needs that it's like he or she chose the words that I needed and I liked them or I didn't like them, but I know that I needed them. That's what we're called to. But we're all going to slip up. No way to get this right. The only way not to slip up is to die early, and I don't recommend that. So it's imperative that we load up, that we load up on the positive and constructive, the positive and the constructive. Now, real quick, if you're a manager or you have employees that report to you, maybe you run a franchise or maybe you run the company. If you're a parent or a grandparent, listen, this is so important. The positive to negative ratio and loading up on the positive and way overdoing the positive, that's what ensures that constructive criticism has its intended result. That what you wanted to be received is received. What you wanted acted on is actually acted on. It's what ensures that negative comments have result or positive change or result in positive change. Now here's where this lands with some of you. I'm going to press in a little hard. Dads, if you're a man of few words, I have a feeling if you're a man of few words, the negatives come more easily than the positives. That's just kind of how it goes. You don't say a lot of positive things. You're just not that verbal. But I mean, if something goes wrong, I mean, you're on it. And in your mind, hey, I'm just telling you the truth. I'm just being honest. So look up here. If you want your correction, and I'm not trying to be cute with the rhyme, it just happens to rhyme. If you want your correction to impact your children's direction, you've got to adjust your ratio. You don't quit saying the hard things. You don't quit correcting, but you've got to balance, and it's not 1-to-1 or 5-to-1 or 10-to-1. With a dad, maybe it's 50-to-1. I mean, look, you're familiar with the idea of portion control, right? Well, this is proportion control, and both require self-control. Sarcasm will not make your children tougher. Sarcasm will make it tougher for you to connect with your adult kids. I promise you. Eradicate it. It doesn't accomplish anything. And load up on the positives. Bottom line, words, they're not equally weighted. Words are not equally weighted. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure you check out the links on your screen for what to watch next, and check out the description below, where we are going to provide you with free resources designed to help you make better decisions and live with fewer regrets. And again, thanks for watching.